Hello everyone, welcome to GED. Today, I'm just doing a quick Druid video. I mean, it's been a while since I've done any videos, to be honest, here in January, and man, I'm so sorry guys, I'm just so sorry. Let's get that out of the way, the apologies are out there. So anyways, we're looking at my Druid here, and we are currently rocking a 215 item level. Weapon's a little bit low, but you know, doing that heroic raiding, getting ready for mythics and whatnot. Last night, I got ahead of the curve. Let me see if I can remember how to search for this here. Okay, yeah, so last night, 111.21, I got ahead of the curve, Sire Denathrius, heroic. So that's cool, that's awesome. But anyways, let's get into some macros that will make your Druid life so much easier. So much easier. First off, if you look down here at the bottom row, the very bottom row, I have a few macros kind of mixed in with spells that absolutely help a ton with just balanced Druid and Druid life in general. I'm primarily balanced, but you can apply these macros to pretty much anyone you got rocking. So first over here on my macros, we're going to go with my attack macro, which I call Mr. Uber. We have Start Attack, which will automatically target a mob closest to you. Then we have Cast No Form Moonkin Form. This will put you into Moonkin Form regardless of what form you're currently in. So if I go to Cat Form and I hit this macro, boom, I pop back to Moonkin Form instantaneously. And then we have a cast sequence and resets on target, Moonfire, Sunfire, Sunfire. What this is going to do, well, I got my attack rolling. Ignore these all these icons for now. I'll explain them in a bit. But if I just hit this macro down here, it's gonna instantly do a Moonfire and then a Sunfire. And since Sunfire has a lower cooldown than Moonfire, you want to refresh that one first. So while you still have the same target, if you hit it again, it'll do the opposite. It'll do Sunfire and then Moonfire. So you're literally getting the maximized refreshing out of your dots right there in that one little macro. If you're in the wrong form in PvP or you run around and just forget Moonkin Form, boom, it's going to pop you back into Moonkin Form. One simple, easy dot macro. There you go. If anything from this video is important, it's pretty much this macro right here because it's a lifesaver for balanced druids. Then we have, moving down the list here, we have just basic Wrath, basic Starfire, basic Starfall, basic Convoke, and then we have my Boop macro. My Boop macro is my CC macro. Basically, I always take the talent, Mass Entanglement, it's just pretty much my default, and I have Solar Beam. So anytime you're fighting mobs and you need to CC them, hard CC their casts, and you have your Solar Beam up, you're just going to drop this macro, boom, they're rooted and they're in Solar Beam. Nothing more to say there, it's just a simple macro, right? Next one we have my life-saving macro, which is Mend. Mend, let's find it here. Okay, Mend. This one's kind of a bit more intricate. You have a cast sequence with a reset of 20, because 20 seconds is just a default reset. But you have Rejuve, Swift Mend, Rejuve. So if I'm taking damage, you can no longer cast Swift Mend without a hot on you, so you need that first rejuvenation to trigger the Swift Mend. So if I hit this macro right here, I do a Rejuve, I hit it again, I Swift Mend, I hit it again, I do another Rejuve. That gets my life pumping back up there. I also have Bark Skin macroed in. As you can see down here, Bark Skin is now on cooldown because it popped on me when I hit that macro. And I also have a Health Stone for raiding. When you're taking lots of damage and you need to insta-heal in the boss fight, boom, you just pop this macro, you're healing yourself, you're saving your healers, or in PvP, you're popping your life bar all the way back up and not even having to deal with extra incoming damage due to Bark Skin. That's Mend, it's my lifesaver. Next we have a basic Typhoon, and then we have my Vroom macro. The Vroom macro, let's just go over here. Where is it here? Vroom. Here we go. So it's another cast sequence. with a reset of 110, which is right below Stampeding Roar. So it basically goes Stampeding Roar, dash, prowl, prowl, prowl. This will basically cast Stampeding Roar, which will put you in bear form. If you need to dash, you can hit it again, it'll dash you in cat form. If you need to do any sort of movement again, it'll put you into prowl in cat form, which will give you that 30% extra cat form movement. So let's try it here. We go hit it once, Stampeding Roar in bear form, hit it again, now we're dashing in cat form, hit it again, now we're prowling in cat form. The prowls can only be used out of combat, but still, it's a handy macro. And once it kind of goes around that 110-second timer, when Stampeding Roar comes off its 2-minute cooldown, it'll be ready to just go again, go in that sequence again. Super good for utility movement in the open world, or in PvP, or even in raiding when you need to get somewhere quick. That macro is also absolutely amazing. Then this is a Boomkin Macro. This is my power macro. So this is my cooldown macro. I'm a troll, so I have berserking. I'm a balanced druid, so I have celestial alignment. Sometimes I take incarn, so I also have that in there. And then I have my 2 unused trinkets, if they are actually unused trinkets. Well, one of them is, which is, you know, basically dealing arcane damage. So when I pop this, it's gonna berserk, celestial, and use my trinkets. Boom! There you go. Uber power mode. And then I usually follow this up with convoke right away. Obviously I waited, but that power macro with all your racials and all your trinkets, and then followed by your convoke, you're gonna be pumping the damage. Absolutely pumping. Simple, easy. It's right there. You can copy it and paste it into your own little thing. Okay, moving on. Then we have the top row here. Nothing really special here. If you use Force of Nature, the treants, I recommend just doing this. This is my Force macro. You /cast at cursor with Force of Nature. I don't have it talented right now, but basically you're just going to target your mouse anywhere you want, hit the button, and it's going to pop those treants out. It saves you like a second and a half of targeting every single time. Next, we have my Vortex macro. Pretty much the same thing. Cast at cursor Ursul's Vortex. As a balanced druid, you always have Ursul's Vortex, so you just go boom, there's Vortex. Notice I didn't have to target anything, I didn't have to do anything, just move my mouse where I want it to go and they're vortexed. Makes your life so much easier. And that's pretty much it. That's all my Boomkin macros, but now we're going to get into the fun part. We're going to get into Weakauras. Weakauras as a Boomkin, absolutely 130 bajillion% needed. And interesting, I've been disconnected from Blizzard. I didn't notice that, but very, very interesting. Okay, so we have the add-on Weakauras. You always want Weakauras as a druid. Let's pop these. Let's pop these babies out. Bada bing, bada boom. Look at all that. I'm gonna go through them quickly, but you know, if you need to rewind and check them out, you can. So I'm gonna start with the easy ones first, and I'm just gonna point these out. We have lunar time and solar time. This is basically just telling me it's a trigger, an aura debuff Moonfire on my target. Aura target debuff. So basically, if my target does not have lunar or solar, I will get these icons on my screen. That tells me not that it's available for use, but that my target does not have it on him. So, for example, I have it right here and here. If I lunar, it goes away. If I solar, it goes away. And again, our Uber macro is keeping both of those up. So you're alternating perfectly and keeping them on the target. Usually solar will come back first, but you know, you just keep it refreshed. It's an insta cast, so don't worry about 100% uptime. Just keep it on as much as you can, right? Going back into Weakauras. Next, we have my Starfall. This is a simple timer. let me get to it, is a simple aura player buff of Starfall, and it's a timer bar, and it just tells me how much time I have remaining on Starfall. Again, aura player buff Starfall, and it's basically a timer bar. You want it to be set to a progress bar, right? And you want it to be on, I believe, yeah, %P for remaining time. Progress, right? I have a simple macro that, or a simple Weakora that I hardly ever use, but it's for treants. It's just a, basically a model, and you can choose spell models. If you just select a new aura, you go to model, right? Just click it, and it'll bring you back to where we just were, right here. And then you can go through right here with the little folder and choose out of hundreds and hundreds of spell icons and pretty much make it exactly how you want it to do. And this is just a status action usable treants, force of nature, right? There you go. Easy. In the same line, I also have my convoke. This is my convoke, status action usable, convoke the spirits, and I just have a icon of this beautiful demonic fire above my head. That tells me instantly, without glancing at anything else but my screen right in the center, that Convoke is ready to pop. So there you go. You can you can have it ready. I have a few just basic icons here for Solar Beam, Earth Souls, and Incarn. These are also basically along the same lines. So you have an icon this time instead of a 3D model. A trigger is status action usable celestial alignment. This will default to just the icon of the aura. So you just choose new aura icon right there, icon, and there you go. Easy to make. You can make it for pretty much anything you want. Moving down here, we have one of the most important things that you can get for druids is the Druid Core Luxthos suite. Looks like a mess. Looks like an absolute garbage hot plate, right? But basically, if you go to Google and type in Luxthos, Luxthos, and search for Druid on his website, he'll give you this suite of importable auras. You just go up here to import, paste the string in from the website, and you'll get all this mess. And what I did is I turned off everything except you get like all the balance, all the fury, all the guardian, everything. You just turn it all off except, and where is it? Here we go. Except the astral power, the eclipse, the wrath, eclipse, starfire. What this little section here, after you copy paste this in from his website, will give you is this bar right here. This tells me, and it's basically my swing back and forth for what's it called? Celestial alignment. Is that what it's called? Anyways, so if I do wrath, it's going to take a bar off the wrath side. If I do another wrath, it's going to take a bar off. Now I'm into lunar eclipse right there, lunar eclipse up in the upper right, and then I have the remaining time, so that means I should be casting starfires. And then once the timer runs out, I do 1 and 2, and it's going to push me back over into solar. Now I should be wrathing. Very simple, very educated, and almost a necessity for any balanced druid to have is this Weakora right here. If you're trying to go off indicators down here or indicators up here, man, I'm sorry, but that's horribly inefficient when you can just say, oh, I got this much time to make this many casts, etc., etc. Now, the 3 energy balls you see right here are Weakoras I created myself personally, and I'm going to show you how to make them. This is basically telling me that I have three star surges available, or if I use 2 of them, 1 star fall. Bam, they're gone. See that? Let me charge them up again. So I got 1 Okay, and then I keep casting. I'm just inefficiently casting here, but it's equivalent to my astral power down here telling me I can do 1 gone and 2 gone, and then I'm out of energy or astral power. So I will show you right here my little macros. Not macros, sorry, Weakauras. We have a 30, a 60, and a 90, or 99. This is supposed to be 90, which it is. So this is basically a 3D model, and I chose this model number. You can type it in if you want, or you can search again for whatever model you want to use. I made a trigger. My trigger on 30 is status, power, player, astral power, and then it is greater than 30. So if my astral power is greater than 30, then I get 1 ball. If my astral power is greater than 60, I get this ball. If my astral power is greater than 90, I get the 3rd ball. Very, very simple, very effective. Here we go. See, I have 56, now I have over 60. Now I'll just pump it to over 90. I'm just demonstrating again for you guys. 84, 90, so now I have all 3 balls. I can do 1, 2, and 3. Bada bing, bada boom. That is probably one of the best things you could ever put on your screen as a balanced druid. And now you've got a preview of Weakauras. Let me tell you, guys, there's so much more you can do. I like to keep my UI fairly simple. I mean, it's a little bit cluttered in the center, but the way, you know, everyone's taste is different and everyone kind of follows their own eye tracking when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I feel that my auras for me put me at 120% of my A-game gameplay. Like I said, my guild is now past Heroic Sire, and part of that is, you know, good gameplay, good mods, good setup of your character, and playing to the best of your ability. So there you go. Some macros, some Weakauras, you're all set. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and hey, get those kills, guys.